Om Shanti. Today I was thinking about this interesting situation that we have created for ourselves, wherein we choose to not equip ourselves and depend on a person, a thing, a position, or wealth, or something of this world to give me the illusion that I'm complete. And then I live in the fear that I might lose that. And I keep praying that, oh God, please, just maintain that which is the source of what I need inside. So, there is this woman, and she told me that my husband is not well, and I want him to live, and I don't want him to die. So I said, okay, he won't die, but just let's take this opportunity to think about why you don't want him to die. So she said, I don't know anything. I have never been to the bank. I don't know how to handle finance. I don't even know the passwords. I have never trained myself to deal with this stuff. And then I said, so you want him to live because he handles the bank account? So she said, no, it's not like that. So I said, but you see, if you want him to live, give him a better reason, or at least give God a better reason why you want him to live. So it's a funny way in which I put it, but you see that can I not learn? Can I not develop the virtues and the powers and the skills that I need? And this will free me from my fears. And then if you give God a better reason, or actually it's got nothing to do with, if you look at it from the point of view of knowledge, because God has got nothing to do with life or death. But even when you're wishing something, if you say, oh God, don't let somebody die because he handles the bank account, that's not a good enough reason for somebody to live. So if you just took care of yourself and you freed yourself from your fears, and you just respected someone's presence for who they are, I think we will be giving the universe greater reason for continuity. So this is just a thought I had because of that conversation, and I think that when we are in fear, then we are always creating an image of losing that which we are afraid to lose. Do you understand that? So whenever I am in fear, so if I am a business person and then I am in fear of losing my money or losing my prospects, then when I'm overwhelmed with that fear, I end up creating a visual of that loss. So you are always visualizing that loss which you don't want to have. And then your imagination is your preview to your future. So you are in fact fueling that which you fear losing. So, you're fueling those prospects of loss by giving your mental energy and your visual energy to it. So, Baba says that we have to now understand that this is not the way we should proceed. And today, Baba says that you have to go alone and equip yourself with all that you need, because this is a journey alone, and Baba is the one who makes us complete. So we have to choose to be with Baba rather than with anybody else who gives us an illusion that I make you complete, but actually they leave us empty. But Baba really makes us complete. So I have to understand that there is going to come a time when everything that I feared losing is going to be, disintegrating, because it is the time of destruction and nothing is going to stay the way it is today. So I have to understand this and take the opportunity of the seconds that are left, or the hours, or the days, or the years that are left, so that I can fill myself with what I need to take that flight home and come back to the golden age on my own. And am I doing enough internal work and purity and remembrance? So remembrance of Baba is going to make me like Baba, and just like Baba is full, I have to come to my fullness. And then purity is important, because purity activates most of our virtues and powers. So I cannot have the power to discern and decide just by wishing to have the power to discern and decide. Purity is crucial for that. So we need to understand that we have to pay attention to purity and remembrance, come what may. And today, Baba says that you need to be very clear about this, that you have to go back home and you have to come back to the golden age. And do not get lost in ordinary business of this Kaliyugi world so much that you forget that you have to get ready for the future. So Baba says, keep that in mind, because whatever looks very important today is going to just, fall like a deck of cards, and then you will be on your own, and then you will have to deal with what you have done on the inside with yourself. So that's something that Baba says. And today's Murli is a very practical Murli, because God has been an abstract idea for 63 births, and when He comes and meets us and creates this yajna and uses Brahma Baba as an instrument, and several others as serviceable souls who serve in the yajna. Sometimes we don't see the act of God practically, and we move with this bizarre idea where we ignore the instruments and ignore the yajna and just live in this illusion that I'm meditating with God. So, first things first, we have to understand that when God decides to come, He creates instrument souls. So the first instrument soul is Brahma Baba, and then He creates this whole structure, this yajna, which has which requires body, mind, and wealth. And He creates all of this to carry out His task of creation in a very practical manner. So Baba's knowledge is not an idea, it's practical, knowledge given through the mouth, and then Baba's love and sustenance is not a fancy idea. Baba is actually giving his love and sustenance in a practical way through instrument souls. So, and even about power, so we are, or teaching us virtues or giving us the value system or the powers that we need. So he makes instrument souls carry all that out for us in a very practical way. And then if we just dismiss all the instruments and just say that, okay, I have a connection with Baba and I'm not interested in the instruments and I'm not. So, while we are taking it through the instruments. So, and if we dismiss the instruments and don't see that our relationship with Baba is only as good as our relationship with the instruments. So, and our relationship with the instruments is very, very practical. So, am I supporting the yajna as much as I am supported by the yajna? That's a very practical question I have to ask, because love without a practical expression of cooperation and support is nothing. So, somebody keeps telling you, I love you, and then when you are sick, they don't tend to care for your body, or when you are hungry, they don't care to feed you. Then you doubt whether it is love. And Baba says that love for Baba is not a fancy idea like, okay, I love Baba a lot. Love for Baba is practically expressed in a cooperation for the yajna. And Baba today says that also, having regard. So there is this thing about ego, and there is this very good saying, pride hath a fall. So, whenever there is pride, there is the tendency to fall. And what is pride? So, pride, having no pride doesn't mean that you consider yourself to be a doormat, or you don't have swaman, or you move with the wrong definition of humility. So you should know who you are, you should know your worth, and you should know your value, and that should reflect in your conduct of yourself. That's not ego. But ego is when you start, when the balance of, being compassionate and being respectful with others starts to be compromised, because you want to assert that I'm as good as you, or I'm bigger than you. So that's when ego sets in. So Baba says that every soul is valuable, but if you say that I'm more worthy than, I'm more worthy than the seniors in the yajna, or I'm also equally valuable. So that's when we understand that ego has set in. Because where ego sets in, then respect and regard take a back seat. And anybody who is not capable of regard and respect, that person cannot progress very much. The fall is very near. So Baba says that if you do something, Baba sees it and Baba acknowledges it. But if you start having ego for what you have done, then you fall in the eyes of Baba. So Baba is making a lot of things very clear in the Murli today, and I will talk about, so there is this question of regard, there is this question of ego, there is this question of seva. And today I'll start with the blessing. So in the blessing, Baba says, in the beginning, they had little power of knowledge, but they achieved success on the basis of their renunciation and love. Day and night, their intellects had love for Baba and the Yajna. And the words Baba and the Yajna would emerge from their hearts. This love made everyone cooperative. Centers were created with these powers. They became Manmanabha with the love of the corporeal one, not the incorporeal. Okay? The love of the corporeal one made them cooperative. So now still surround everyone with the powers of love and renunciation, and you will be successful. So this is a very, this blessing needs a little explanation, and I will give you a story from the old days which will make it clear. So, in the Yajna, what is the Yajna first? So, this whole structure in which there are serviceable souls, and then there is the spiritual seva going on, the centers, Mount Abu, everything included is called the Yajna. And in English, the Yajna is called the sacrificial fire. And this Yajna has been created so that everybody can sacrifice, and that sacrifice can make us sacred. So, this English word sacrifice is very interesting because sacrifice means to make sacred. So when we sacrifice, that sacrifice makes us pure and sacred. So this whole Yajna, this whole structure has been created so that souls can sacrifice their lives, their minds, their wealth, their old bodies, their old habits, everything. And this will take this whole movement that Baba has created forward. And then when everything is sacrificed and made sacred, then we will move to a pure world. So this everything, all this structure is created for that. Otherwise, God could just change the world with a magic wand. And I'm sure He's capable of doing that. But He creates this whole structure so that every soul can sacrifice. And when, so there is this story in the Yajna in the beginning days, and this is a story about Gulzar Dadiji. And when Gulzar Dadiji was in Delhi, and at that time children used to visit, and there were families coming and taking Baba's knowledge. But then families did not cooperate, just like many children even today, they come to Baba, they take sustenance, but they don't learn how to cooperate. They don't learn how to give their help and support in the activities of the Yajna. So it was such a time. And then Dadi was once about to have lunch, and then there was this Mata, and that Mata said, "Okay, Dadi, so I will have lunch with you today." And Dadi said, "Yes, you are welcome." And Dadi was very happy because it didn't matter what we eat, but sharing and that feeling of love behind that sharing was deep inside Dadi's heart, and Dadi welcomed her. And then when the food was prepared, then that Mata came to realize that there is only enough flour in the dabba to make one roti. So there is no flour, no material for a second roti. And then, but Dadi had no issue with that, and Dadi very lovingly made that one roti, offered bhog to Baba, and then she split it into two, and she said, you eat half of it and I will eat half of it. And when this Mata went back, she gathered all the other brothers and sisters around, and she said that, we need to do something about this. And we love this sister. And although, in the beginning, it was not very easy to understand Baba because the intellects were gross, and even if they had not reached that place where they really had love for Baba, they loved Dadi. And then they started cooperating. So they started, giving something to the yajna. And this became an act of, and there is a law which says that wherever your time, energy, money will flow, your mind will go there. Yes, do you understand this law? So if your time, energy, money goes somewhere, your mind will go there. Even if you have watched an advertisement for 10 seconds, your mind will again go back to that advertisement because you've given your mind space, your time to it. And when there is cooperation, when something that is mine flows to the yajna, when I give a part of my energy, my time, my thought, my wealth to the yajna, then obviously my mind gets connected with Baba. And Baba today says that it is through the, by appreciating the renunciation and having love for the corporeal, that became a stepping stone for love for the incorporeal. So, man mana bhav means you connect your mind to God which you cannot see, right? But if you start appreciating the work of those who you can see, the renunciation of those who you can see, and if you start developing that love for the corporeal, then you start sacrificing something that, and you say that whatever you think is your own, when you give a part of that to the yajna and to seva, then your mind starts connecting with the incorporeal whose yajna it is. And when your mind starts getting connected with the incorporeal, then Baba is able to nurture your inner world with what it needs. So this is a very easy method to become man-mana bhav. And there is this one brother, and he has been in connection with the yajna for almost 6 to 7 years now. And one day he told me a very strange thing. He said, I am connected to Shiv Baba and I listen to classes online, and I do not take sustenance from any center. So I said, and who is the one giving classes online? Some ghost. So can't you see that that's God's instrument? And anybody, even if you're listening to Baba's knowledge on YouTube, it's an instrument who has sacrificed their life, and you are being given to it by the Yajna. And there are this Yajna is not made of motivational speakers. It's made of souls who have sacrificed their sensual pleasures and their lives and have embraced a life of sacrifice and purity. And if I am blind enough to not see that, then what have I understood? How will I see Baba, who is incorporeal, if I don't even have the ability to see somebody who is so physical in front of my eyes? If I cannot appreciate their life and their renunciation, can I really appreciate Baba and his work? I don't think so. So we need to understand that when God comes and He is doing this work of world transformation, then there are souls who have given up everything to join God in this task, and we have to have appreciation for their renunciation, and love for Baba is practically expressed in love and cooperation with these souls in this practical task of world transformation. And one cannot be Manmanabhav without practical cooperation in Baba's task. Because where nothing that you say is mind flows, your mind cannot go there. That's the law. And this is why, whenever we try to sit in Baba's remembrance, then our mind goes to people, places and things, because we have invested our time, wealth and energy there. And that's why they pull our attention. And Baba is not able to hold my attention because I have not invested my time, wealth and energy in Baba's seva. So this is there. And then Baba says today that some children are unable to do that much service. They do a little service and feel that they have passed. They become body conscious and fall. If you have disrespect for Brahma Baba, then Shiv Baba says, this is also disrespect for me. And disrespect is not just disrespect. Lack of respect, lack of doing the needful is disrespect. So, if just take a very simple example. So, somebody who is old with age is sitting and they are thirsty, and you are just not getting up and getting them a glass of water, then you are not doing anything disrespectful. Are you doing anything disrespectful? But not doing the needful is a sign of disrespect. So not doing what you ought to do is a sign of disrespect. And many people don't get that. So Baba says disrespecting the practical instrument is equal to disrespecting Baba. And then Baba says that Baap and Dada are together. Don't think your connection is with Shiv Baba. You still have to receive the inheritance through this one. Open up your heart to this one and take advice from him. Baba says, even when you want to practically seek advice, what do? You talk to the corporeal instrument, yes? Shiv Baba says, I will give you advice through the corporeal one. How can you claim the inheritance from Shiv Baba through Brahma? Nothing can be accomplished without this father. This is why you children have to be very, very cautious. Some become arrogant for no reason and ruin themselves. Yes, and arrogance for what? So some are so arrogant that, even waking up at Amrit Vela is making them arrogant. So now I wake up at Amrit Vela every day, and what has it done to you? Yes, so has it done what it needs to? If I have arrogance about waking up at Amrit Vela and arrogance about embracing purity, then purity has not made us pure and Amrit Vela has not made us humble. So Baba says, there are some children who have arrogance for nothing. And Baba says that when you climb out of the heart of the corporeal one, you also climb out of the heart of the incorporeal one. The destination is very high. You children should not waste your time. And this is another thing that Baba today is telling us. Don't waste your time because the destination is very high. So, do you understand that we have not come early or late to Baba? Yes. And we have come at the right time. And what does the right time mean? Right time means that if you take care of every second, if you do the needful every second after you've come to Baba, you will reach your highest stage. Yes, so you have not come early, so you do not have the privilege to waste time. And you have not come late, so you don't need to hurry. But you need to use every second in a worthwhile way if you want to reach your destination. So we do not have time to waste. And I don't know how BKs can afford to watch television and watch the internet and talk wasteful things and think about wasteful stuff, because probably we don't realize how far we have to go. And if the journey is so long and the destination is so high, then I have to pay attention to not waste time. So this is something that Baba says. And then Baba says, Baba has his eye on the serviceable children. Only those who are going to become Sun dynasty kings and queens should come to this court of Indra. Those who don't do service are not worthy. As you make further progress, everything will be known about who is to become what. You children should have a lot of intoxication about becoming the princes of heaven tomorrow. You have come here to study Raj Yoga. If you don't study well, a low status will be attained. Baba should receive service news. Baba, I did this service today. So how many of you do service every day? So can we write every day, Baba, I did this seva? Yes. Just think about it. We do everything every day. And seva, we don't do every day. If we don't do seva every day, where will we go? So Baba says, you have to give a report every day. Baba, I do seva. I did this seva today. 24 hours and no seva we do. There should be at least something that we do every day. It could be with the body, with the mind, with the money, with the time, with the thought. Something we have to do every day, some seva. Every day there has to be a chart of seva. And Baba says, what would Baba understand if you never even write a letter to Baba that you have died? So do you write a letter to Baba every day? Yes. There are some who write, and there's some who don't write a letter to Baba every day. Yes. You ask them, you call your family every day? Yes, yes, 2 times a day. You talk to impure souls every day? Yes, on a daily basis without fail. But do you write a letter to Baba? No. Does Baba write a letter to you every day? Yes. Do you read that letter? Yes. Do you reply? No. Yes. So we have to write a letter to Baba every day. And when I write a letter to Baba every day, preferably before I go to sleep, I have to write a letter to Baba every day. And in that letter, I have to give an account of how much did I do as Baba wrote in the letter in the morning. So I received a letter in the morning, right? That letter is the Murli. It's a very personal letter. It is for everyone, and yet it's so personal. And then I have to reply to that letter every day. I have to talk about things that Baba wants me to think and act upon. And tell Baba, yes, Baba, I did this and that and the other, as you said, because that's the tool that Baba is giving us to create a fortune. And if I have to create a fortune, I have to write a letter as an answer to Baba, to the letter that he writes to me every day. Okay, so this is quite a practical Murli that Baba has given every day. And you know, ideas are beautiful, reality is harsh. So we have to move from ideas to reality and give a reality check to what we are really doing, because sometimes, you know, these words, I love Baba and I belong to Baba, are just words. When you practically check according to what Baba is asking you to check, we'll figure out how much ground are we really standing on when it comes to this check about how much we love Baba. So Shanti, today we will offer bhog to Baba now, and today there are many souls who have offered bhog giving thanks to Baba. So, you know, they have their own reasons, and so they have offered bhog for thanking Baba. And then there is a soul who had a birthday 2 days back, so that soul has also offered bhog to Baba. So I'll take all these remembrances to Baba, and we will all collectively go to Baba and offer bhog with a lot of love. So just have patience for 2 minutes. I'll direct you to the other room. Om Shanti.